maybe if you're asking the best reason to go see this movie is
Mhm.
personally for me, I want to see what Chris Stuckman actually does next. I
I'm
want to see.
Me too.
I hope he makes another movie because I'd be interested in seeing what he does next. If there's any reason to go see this film, it's for that, to supporting
Mm.
this author or this director that I think will do something really cool next time.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Two to Real movie review. I'm one of your hosts, Austin.
I'm your other host, Richard.
Today, we're talking about the movie Shelby Oaks. And for the first 10 minutes, we're going to give you spoiler-free thoughts. Will you be interested, disinterested in the movie? We'll let you know our full thoughts, because this is an important one. I was very curious to watch this. I know you were too, because a YouTuber, Chris Stuckman, former YouTuber, he's still a YouTuber, but is now trying to transition into becoming a director. This is his debut film, and if you guys don't know who's Chris Stuckman, he's one of the OG YouTubers. Him, Jeremy Johns, throw out other names like that. He's been reviewing films on YouTube for over a decade.
Yeah. Now, what makes this a little bit more unique, because other YouTubers have made movies, is the man from Cinema Sins, Critical Drinker has made a movie, so this has happened before. The difference with Chris Stuckman is he's deliberately made a change of, this is not him just making a movie, it's him wanting to change his career. He made fundamental changes to his YouTube channel of how he does movie reviews, because he wants to be a film director first, movie reviewer second. And so this is he hopes to be a permanent change in his career path. And so his first movie, we're going to judge whether that career path was the right move or not, or should he kept his day job.
Can a YouTuber walk the walk? Yeah. Can they do it? Could we? Well,
yeah. Again, understand they are, like, for the most part, reviewers, critics are parasites. Living off of the actual work, effort, and creativity of other people. And,
we're just continuing Stuckman's legacy here.
Exactly.
We're doing what he would do.
So, completely understand. But let's see if Chris Stuckman can walk the walk.
In this movie, he raised just shy of 1.4 million on Kickstarter. It became the largest, most funded horror film project on Kickstarter. He had lots of support. Obviously, it helped from his YouTube channel personality. And this campaign, it began production. The film began production in late 2021, so it's been happening for years and years now. But I know the idea for it started even before then. And there's actually a cool marketing campaign they did. Because in the movie, we can explain a little bit of the plot, but Paranormal Paranoids is a YouTube group in the movie. It starts off the movie starts off as a bit of a mockumentary sorts, or
more of a found footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fake documentary, found footage.
Mm-hmm. The movie is a horror film. Starts off with this found footage type of movie, where this group, this 4 people. One of them being Riley. Riley Brennan is your main character in this movie. The 4 people are part of this YouTube channel called Paranormal Paranoids. And in the movie, they go missing. They're gone. Nobody knows what happens to them. And you see some buzz online that, is this YouTube group, the Paranormal Paranoids, just faking it? Because their whole channel is about investigating haunted houses or seeing an abandoned prison, all these spooky places, and they say they see ghosts. And everybody that's online is saying, well, it's probably part of their marketing scheme. Of course they're missing, and they're going to come back bigger, better than ever, whatever. But in actuality, the main character's sister, Riley, so Riley's the one that's gone missing with the group. The main character, Mia, who we see this perspective from, Mia is Riley's sister, and Mia thinks it's not fake, and Riley's actually missing. And she wants to get to the bottom of it. That's the setup for the movie. And that roundabout way of saying that Paranormal Paranoids, this whole YouTube group in-movie, so the in-movie universe, outside the movie, there was a marketing campaign where the Paranormal Paranoids, there was posts on YouTube of Riley, the actress Riley, shooting some stuff and filming and getting some cool marketing stuff out there for the movie years before the actual movie came out. So Chris Stuckman played the YouTube game, and it was fun way of marketing it.
Yeah, so definitely an interesting premise for the movie. I really like the trailers. Definitely looks very professional and interesting premise going into it. So that's that's how it kind of starts, but it definitely does. What other information do we want to give in spoiler-free territory?
I think
What do you think is
it's
fair?
fair to say that it starts as a mockumentary, but stops being a mockumentary soon into the movie. So
It
don't expect found footage the whole time.
It
Yeah.
becomes a more standard horror movie at some point.
Yes.
Pretty early on into the film.
Yes. Literally post credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the intro credits of the movie. So it's very, very early on. And yeah, the online reactions to this are so Rotten Tomatoes, for example. Do you have a guess for how it's been doing? Because I know you probably didn't look this up beforehand.
I did not look up at what Rotten Tomatoes thinks, but I'm gonna guess it's at like an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which do you think that both the critics and audience agree?
That was critics. Audience 80.
Both are very close put together, but the actual one is critics 59% and audience 57%. A bit lower.
Ooh,
Bit
lower.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it seems to get about that reception. You're seeing online pretty mediocre responses to the movie. People saying, wow, which I agree with this, that YouTuber make this movie. It looks very professional, produced by Neon. Stuckman as the director, as just directing the film and making it look. It looks like a regular movie. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. You know what I mean? Of just, oh, this is not a YouTuber made a movie. Does not scream that this is somebody's at-home footage, right?
Yeah, no, as far as directing goes and filmmaking, doesn't seem amateur, like a YouTuber just got it right off the set and made a movie. Like,
right.
Great job on directing.
Mm-hmm.
But
what do you think? Do you agree with the more negative reviews? What's your spoiler-free real rating for this?
Yeah, my spoiler-free real rating is a 3.25.
Above average.
Slightly above average.
Gotcha. Yeah. I gave this a 2.5 out of 5. Disappointing. Yeah. And to give a little bit more into your above averageness, so you liked it well enough. How what would you say? What are your thoughts?
So part of this is horror is not my genre. However, the things that it did well, it looked pretty spooky. Pacing was pretty good. There's a couple jump scares that got me. And at a certain point, my bar was lowered it was just going for some spooks, and it got the job done, but it didn't break the mold. But so that's where I'm at on it. There are certain categories that I'll be much lower on, and some that I just won't even rate. And I don't think it's applicable, but that's where I'm at. Yeah,
I was actually very hooked in the beginning segment of the movie when we're talking about that found footage part. Riley's gone missing. What actually happened to her? Is this just a fake out? What is the mystery behind how she's gone, if she's gone? All that stuff had me very interested. I think the movie does make a switch up back into a regular traditional horror movie. It starts ambitious, has this ambitious idea, but then becomes very much any horror movie that you've seen. So my main issue is more the screenwriting aspect of it, and the plot, the actual movie itself, was the more disappointing part of everything. And especially, I think the main characters involved, the plot, a couple of things. I guess you'll go in here, and maybe if you're going in with any kind of, I also went into the expectations of, I'm expecting a 3. So I didn't go in with super high expectations or low. So this is just more so, I don't think I'm trying to be not objective, but I'm also not a massive Chris Stuckman fan. So I don't have any like loyalties to hating on the guy or loving the guy, if that makes sense either. I don't have any of that.
Over the course of the discussion, you very easily could lower my score. So we'll know so I'm starting off at a 3.25. After the discussion, we'll see if anything has changed at the end.
Yeah, I guess to the recommendation for anybody, what would you say of should people watch it? Should they not?
I mean, personally, there's other movies out there. For me to recommend a movie, it's more of like, hey, I think it's really good or great. That's when I'm going to recommend a movie. If I think it's slightly above average, unless you're really into horror and you got to watch every horror movie, or you're a big fan of Chris Stuckman, I wouldn't recommend this movie.
Yeah, props to Chris Stuckman for doing this though, because even when I was watching it, I forgot the immersion was there to go, oh, this is a movie.
Yeah.
This is there was a very good job. And I know there was a certain point in production where more money was put on. I don't know if I don't remember the exact timeline, but another million plus was put in the movie, and they reshot some of the scenes to add more goriness and the visual. So if you're going to the movie watching this, I think the best part about it is the filmmaking, which is
Yeah, that is true.
that is my favorite part about the movie. Like even the spooks will get you. So it's not B tier. It's none of that. So
maybe if you're asking the best reason to go see this movie is personally for me, I want to see what Chris Stuckman actually does next. I want to see.
Me too.
I hope he makes another movie because I'd be interested in seeing what he does next. If there's any reason to go see this film, it's for that, to supporting this author or this director that I think will do something really cool next time as well.
Even for like, I gave it 2.5 disappointing. I'm gonna have a lot of critiques, plenty of critiques. I still think this was an accomplishment.
Sure.
I still like look at it and go, wow.
Yeah,
it's still impressive. But let's get into our specifics. Oh, if you want to see our breakdown of ratings, here they are on screen. You can see them below. Because without further ado, we'll get into our full spoiler discussion. Here's your warning. Spoiler warning, spoiler warning. Will our ratings change by the end? Let's see. Because you couldn't convince me to go up.
Yeah, maybe so.
Emotional impact. What did you give out of 5?
A 2.5.
2.5? Interesting. Yep. Mine's, I give 2.75, below average for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, disappointing. Ultimately, the ending was, like, the biggest disappointment for me was interesting premise, interesting setup, and then when I realized it became just another horror movie, and then not only just, like, another horror movie, but to me, like, no even real good themes about it. It's just, demon possession. I'm like, okay. I got pretty emotionally uninvested at that point. So I was disappointed by that change in the movie, and by the end especially.
Definitely that ending. I think there was a moment where I think my expectations were raised inside the movie, not before watching, but inside the movie, where I got hyped. Was roughly the 15-minute part where the credits started and rolled, because we saw basically 10 to 15 minutes of the found footage of Riley gone, getting mockumentary footage of Mia talking about her missing sister, going, there's more to this, me getting hooked by the mystery, and then you have this cut that happens, and you see all the names being put on there, and Chris Stuckman, director, and click, and then we see the house turn from, was it day to night, whatever it was, and I was, ooh, that was smooth. That felt like jazz. And I was sorry, is this cringe, kids, boys?
That's a little
boys
cringe.
And girls? All right.
But it's okay. We accept you anyway.
All right, thanks. I guess I was gonna make another bad one. But that change, and I was a little bit on the edge of my seat going, what you got in store for me, Chris? I was that in movie, my expectations were raised. I liked the hook. Did you like the hook at all?
Yeah, I did. Especially the idea of just adding a little bit more mystery of, hey, what actually happened? How much is true? And because it's going to be horror, but you don't know if it's traditional slasher horror or is it more mystical or magical type horror, like devils and all that stuff. And how long do they play with that idea? That's where I was more invested in the mystery, because something terrible's happened to him. Of course, it's not completely made up. But that's what I was interested in. It's like, ooh, what could it be? But yeah, pretty quickly after that, you kind of realize, like, oh no, it's more than likely demons, and then it's like confirmed. Nah, it's just demons.
And then there's a third time of like, no, it's definitely
like demon with capital D.
it became the spookiness too, and it became less scary over time the more it was revealed, and
which
the
is
more
standard practice. Are we getting into spoilers?
This is spoilers. Yeah, it's emotional impact.
Good. Okay. Yeah,
this is full spoilers.
I forgot. I almost forgot.
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Spoiler
I
it out.
almost forgot.
You just got demon possessed for a second.
I did.
You went, am I back?
Are we
is this
still
Vietnam?
in the spoiler free?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my.
Good. But yeah, no. Yeah, as they kept revealing more and more of it, definitely became less scary. But That is pretty standard with most horror movies.
Yes. It also leaned into a couple of the scenes that, and I really kind of made me realize this. It started ambitious, but became you can see more of Stuckman's influences or just the general horror stuff and the horror tropes of we have to find a reason for Mia, the sister, to go alone on this search. She has to get into a fight with her husband, which is a little bit loose of that conflict they had back and forth. I get, okay, he thinks she's crazy like everybody does in a horror film, so she's got to go alone. She can't call the police because, and so you fall into.
She also just can't go during the daytime. No, unacceptable. Got to go right now in the middle of the night. Yeah, of course.
And she drops the knife as well. It doesn't go, but just drops it, leaves it, and the camera focuses on the dropped knife. Going, oh man, that's.
Don't you just love also the flashlight going out at the right
just
time.
The right time.
Yeah,
the demons are there,
of course.
Yes. So you lean into a lot of that.
How much is this bothering us just because we're not into the horror genre? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of this is nothing new. Are we being hypercritical on this just because it's a horror movie and we're picking up on these tropes that, of course, everyone knows?
I think other people obviously pick up on it too. I think it's more so the justification of there's a horror movie. I'm not big in the horror genre again, but Hush, for example, or we just recently watched Good Boy, and it's those. I like a plot, or we're talking emotional moments, but the non-eye rolly, here's another horror film. I like when that's more justified. Of course, the husband and wife, Mia and her husband here, who I can't remember his name, but they have this bit of argument. So it is, quote unquote, rationalized. Okay, here, viewers, the reason why the husband can't be there and puts Mia alone. It's the writing of that makes you go, okay, it was the Band-Aid was tried, but I noticed the Band-Aid and there's a rip in it. It's probably more so that, but you're right. It could just be, it's more accepted. I do think that's again not the biggest point. If we're talking emotional moments, we really got to talk about the climax here of the end reveal after we have Mia go through, she goes to the prison, she goes to the cabin with the strange lady, she's looking for Riley, and the reveal comes at the end that the demon was all along actually looking for Mia. And that's the reveal. And
this is all just about being the cycle continuing of the demon and, the demon mother and the demon child, basically this endless cycle. And, the mother raises the next demon and then kills again.
My reaction, why I put 2.75 of below average, right? I was deciding between, am I disappointed or am I about it? The reason I was right in between, because the ending scene there of the demon reveal, that's the culmination of do you like that or not? Now, I liked the ambitious part of that of, it was Mia all along that the demon was after. If I see in Stuckman's head of, I see the vision, I get the film that is being made here. That, what a neat, I get it. All that comes together. It was actually her all along. But then the more disappointing part was the setup to that and what the answer, how the demon was revealed to actually be after Mia, which we can get into more weeds as we go to other categories. But it's more so what is that answer for us? Is that a satisfying, horrific thing to happen? Why specifically targeting Mia? Why? How has this come full circle? We can talk about Mia, her and her husband having trouble having kids. Is it partly to do with that? Gets into the weeds, but it didn't hit that emotional catharsis of, it all just came together now. Of course. It didn't have that moment. Did you?
Yeah, if I want to be the most charitable, I think the kind of point is the demon possesses the child, and so therefore the mother needs someone to raise the child that's not directly possessed. And so the creepy old lady in the film is a follower of the demons and everything, but it loved her child and doesn't seem to be actually possessed by the demon. And the same way that the child of Riley is possessed by a demon. That's the demon's child. Mia can't be possessed, but she has to be turned. And so what does it take to turn her? She can't have kids. Then goes now then her sister goes missing, goes through all these horrific things, finally finds her sister, and then sees her sister die this horrific death, and like just put her over the top emotional, make her emotionally weakened for the demon to then go like, now Mia is going to protect Riley's child and fought for it and all this. So I think that's the point of it's all about.
Do you
the
want to get into
trauma
thought
manipulation.
provokingness?
Sure.
Is it that? What is the theme of the film? What'd you give it? Did you rate it?
NA.
You did.
I don't. Yeah. If there was an attempt, I'm being generous
Yes.
on that. Like if I were to actually rate the category, it would be low. But I don't think it's going for anything super profound. I think it's mostly just going for spooks.
I was between NA, but I ended up rating it at a 2 at a flawed.
Okay.
And reason I said
Why?
the reason I said flawed was because everything you're picking up on there, I think there's more of a point and thematic elements to the movie that just don't hit home. It's
Okay.
just missing. So one of the things that I think there was an attempt at more to be there, more to think about, like that end reveal of it was actually Mia all along that the demon was after, and you're looking at these two kids who are. She looks through the window. Mia looks through the window as a kid, actually sees the demon, doesn't say anything to her sister, and her sister has been seeing these nightmares and demons her whole life. The other element of it, Mia and her husband not able to have children, and then the child coming in at the end to fill this whatever void it is in Mia's life. There was enough in there that I'm theorizing of, is it a point about trying to get onto the trauma or like something here about trauma, something here about loss of and manipulation, or something the demon's doing, which I agree with you, it doesn't come full circle. It doesn't land effectively.
It
But
seems
there's
more like a
certainly
plot
something.
contrivance of like, rather than an actual point to be made of any type of theme. I think it's mostly supposed to just be twist and spook rather than actual point or any kind of significant theme.
Yeah.
That's why I say NA.
I see that.
I think it's mostly there just to subvert expectations for the sake of it.
Yeah, I was between that too of just not doing it, but I do. The thing is, I'm trying to discover the thing that's not completely there, and I guess the one thing I keep looking at is the sister relationship between Mia and Riley, which we'll get into characters as well, but the relationship between the two of them. And what I guess why is Mia is trying to find Riley so desperately, and is she trying to fill some sort of void in her life, or what's going wrong with? I don't know. I think I can explain more in the character section, but I do think Stuckman was going for two things in that reveal. One, like twist Shyamalan or M. Night Shyamalan type of twist of you look at the movie differently now. But secondly, what is being said about what's happening to Riley, for example, of being used as this demon's like child bearer, possessed, and Riley's taken away and corrupted, and like what? Okay, in the mockumentary footage, maybe I'm gonna say this better this time. Mia, when she's talking about her sister, always talks about how her sister had these nightmares growing up. Always, constantly had these nightmares. She was very close to her sister, and anytime that you see the group go out paranormal paranoids, you always see Riley notices that monster somewhere there. Maybe I'm making the stretch to think in horror, sometimes there's some thematic element of what is the horror thing. And I think what it's representing, if I'm being cinephile about it, it's representing some sort of childhood trauma. And she had these nightmares in a certain time, and then it stopped at a certain point too. When she saw it, was it some sort of abuse was happening? Or I'm taking a little bit of a stretch to go, I think there was something there that I would have liked developed more.
You are right. Most horror is normally about some type of sin in general. It's sin manifest and the consequences and the fear from it. That is generally the point of horror. What do you think is then Mia? Is it Mia not seeing something terrible happen to Riley and not actually saying anything, of her silence, and her silence is more of her trauma?
That's why I'm saying too flawed for me, because I think there's something there, but we're having trouble figuring out like the more
'Cause
meaty substance of that.
is it the silence on her part or just separation from your sister at 12 years old or,
Something, right?
whenever
13 or
13 or
yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Nah, it was older. Riley was older when
Really?
they got separated. Yeah.
So- no, when they were in bed and she saw the
Yeah,
monster.
but that's when the nightmares stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So I guess I'm just more. I definitely wanted more out of that, and my thing was it did not thematically tie to that eureka moment we're talking about, an emotional payoff did not happen because those threads there was not enough to go. Oh, that makes perfect sense. That's the puzzle piece that was needed within these two. And I think more of this is going to be in characters because that's where my complaints come in. Do you want to go to characters?
sure.
I gave it 2.25. Very disappointing.
This you could help lower my score for me. I give it a 3. Just real neutral on
Gotcha.
it. So, and how much of this is I think the actor for Mia did a very good job.
Yeah, I put all the acting and the dialogue acting part at the end. You're right. She does a great job. I'm just looking at
the writing of the character.
The character. Yeah,
who
because
is
she
this
acts
character?
really well. Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I think she did a standout performance for this movie.
Mhm.
And because I don't think a ton is given to her character.
Right.
Really? Like, yes, a lot of stuff happens to her, but in a way like it's just very surface level. There's not a lot of nuance or beyond it, but I think she acts really well.
She does act well. The biggest disappointment is when we're rating characters, we're going 5 stars. The irreplaceable character has to be in this movie. The 1 star's just incoherent, right?
Yeah.
The most disappointing part is why these sisters? I'm like, why does the story have to be this Riley and this Mia? And we get some sort of nod to that of, Riley has these nightmares, and Mia, her biggest thing is her rift with her husband, not able to have a child. That's what we get out of them. And the bond that we get from these two, the flashbacks and the looking back on memories, is the carving carving their initials into the trees. That's one thing we see that was in their childhood, and that's really a thing that just alludes and transitions into the monsters and more of the when she's looking, she sees the initials as she's searching where Riley went missing, etc. So for me, the biggest part was why am I following Mia and Riley's story?
Yeah.
Of okay, they're I wasn't convinced that it had to be their story. Like, did you have an answer to that? Of just like I'm curious, like, you get what I mean? Of what was special about Riley and Mia other than what we mentioned?
I do. I do what you mean. The reason why I was so on neutral is they are replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're completely incoherent.
No, not incoherent.
So that's why I was leaning on it. But why these sisters?
But the thing is too, as we're talking about this, Mia, what made me just as a character, not the actress Mia, as a character, what made me a little bit more. I know we were talking about those horror tropes, but she didn't seem like a rational actor. And I get your sister's missing. Your sister's missing in this situation, and it's traumatic.
She makes many decisions that are just, incoherent. It doesn't seem very rational at all. But
Especially point here that this is what did it for me of being more on the characters not working as much for me. We watched a lot of movies recently where the horror was ambiguous. It was more of a thematic element or what's real, what's not. We watched Perfect Blue recently, Good Boy recently. Him. That's all of our reviews on the channel so far. It's October. There's a lot of more horror stuff we're watching. So all of that was, hey, is what's happening real or fake? And that's the constant question. In this movie, the point where it became so clear that all the stuff was very real. We're seeing the hounds. There might be a little jump scare, but hey, there's an actual killer who killed 3 of your friends, and there's demonic stuff happening. We see the main actress Mia. The demonic lady literally lifts the bit, like is levitating, levitating people in the air. She sees the demons with her eyes. All of this is completely seen, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of that demon baby." It's more so that you can't make it that real and then walk back to like, "Oh, baby," like I'm gonna go an orphanage at least. it's
or at least not give some credence or and then again it's a fight and how does she know? I mean, like in the heat of the moment, I get it, but yeah, no, the fact that there was way too many. This is more plot of
Hmm.
her actions on leaving behind the knife, deciding to go out into the wood. All of her decisions are very irrational. That makes more sense in a more ambiguous movie, but this just comes across as cliche.
It does. It does especially. And Mia, what I keep asking too is I'm trying to understand who is Mia as a character. Why would this be the case? Is there something? It feels like the
Other than
characters
loving
aren't.
her sister,
Yeah,
there's not much else to her.
it doesn't feel like the characters are real. It just feels like they're there to move the plot. The husband's there to show, hey, Mia, they can't bear children, but the husband thinks she's crazy because the plot needs him to go away for a little
Yeah.
bit so she can go on this thing alone at night with all the shenanigans of the horror tropes. So it was really Mia just as the character writing was more so. This could have been something so much more interesting to develop her and show, even justify. Like here's the thing too. This character was focused in the first half of the movie of that trauma, like needing to conceive a child, like, oh my God, this is her character and this is traumatic. This is awful to her. And then the second half of the movie is involving this baby and that finally they can have a child. And it's kind of the, do the ends justify the means of, even if it is a demon baby, we finally have a child to take care of. How beautiful is that? Just none of that was present. You know,
Sure.
it was a lot of that. And Riley, we get Riley. It's obviously captured and horrible. So it's this is Mia's movie, and Mia was the one that I just not justified of why her. That was the more disappointing part.
Well, you've done your job.
I'm
lower
sorry.
my score.
I'm sorry. It's what are you thinking?
2.5.
Yeah. But I get your point too. Like they're replaceable in that sense too. It's more so the rationale of going.
I was.
You know how
going
you like
between-
competent characters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. And if they were incompetent, which Mia kind of is, it would be nice to know why. If she's incompetent for actual character reasons,
Exactly.
fair enough.
Yes.
She's shown to be irrational or in more mundane endeavors, and of course Mia would, decide to go in the middle of the night.
That's so
not
Mia.
tell anybody. In many ways, if Riley was the one to leave in the middle of the night, not tell the police, not bring a weapon
makes
or
more
anything,
sense.
and be like, yeah, that seems like a Riley thing to do. Riley's the one that just goes into these haunted places all the time.
Mhm.
Like, that seems like her character. Mia, you could wait till daytime.
Also, she saw the demon thing as a child, and the rationale is she's not going to tell the police about this footage she found of literally the guy came, shot himself in the head. Footage is there. She's not going to show the cops because they're going to think it's an open and shut case. She knows there's the demon stuff out there.
Yeah.
Who's going to believe her? Her husband doesn't even believe her. So the attempt is there to go, okay, look.
But also, the fork and... Do you want to get into plot?
Perfect timing.
That's
Plot,
perfect
what'd you
timing.
give it out of 5?
I initially gave it a 3.25. Where I'm about to lay on some things I don't like.
Okay. I gave it a 2.5, disappointing.
Yeah.
Let's talk that.
Yeah, why did I give it above? Whatever. Getting right into it,
Yeah.
of the path of, does she tell the cops or not?
Does she tell the cops or not yet?
Does she, like, the footage of, like, hey, look, here's the footage of the actual killer, murdering all these people, and then with Riley still missing. Right now, the cops have already given up. So, shut case. It's a cold case. Nothing's going on.
Mm.
She doesn't want to give the evidence over because then the cops will consider it an open and shut case. And either one is the same result. There's no...
You could still go do your demon stuff.
There's
Yeah.
still... It would still be helpful of, like,
Mm.
hey, look, yeah, the guy killed her, but, like, where's the other body? That's still part, like, okay, now we at least know, hey, let's go investigate the house. They would have gone to the house and investigated. And just like, yeah, it doesn't, there's both scenarios end up with the same result.
Yeah.
And she could still go and do her demon investigation.
Mhm.
So that doesn't make sense to me.
The plot definitely had to contrive itself to go, okay, we need to have Mia in these
Yeah.
horror situations. It's,
Mia seeing the seeing the footage and going like, "Oh, I have to go to the prison tonight. Tell nobody. Only bring a flashlight. Nothing else." Yeah. What was she expecting to find?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and we get the biggest scenes with her. We have her going to the dungeon, and we have her going to the cabin. And how the plot comes together is, it turns out it's this killer who took Riley is the son of some witch-esque lady who's in this cabin. Imagine any like dark fairy tale, and she is possessed or involved with this demon who needs some bearer, someone to haunt, essentially. And it's this demon hound like thing that is there. And so it definitely just became more standard. Okay, the demon's real, possessing people. Whereas the first 15 minutes of the film, the first 20, was going, ooh, why are they missing? Is this more of a commentary of, I kind of like the direction it could have possibly gone, of the online culture responding and saying, oh, are they just faking this? Oh my goodness, what's going on? What are they? They're just doing this for the publicity, for the press. Of course, they're not actually missing. I get the switch up, and that's interesting to go, hey, first 15 minutes mockumentary, then let's go back into hard regular film. But I almost kind of wished maybe we got more of the found footage stuff continued that got the online reactions spewing back of, I don't know, my expectation of the movie starting and what I thought I was promised was we get online reactions, found footage, and then later in the movie, as we get more news is dropping about, not that it gets all solved in one night, but rather we go to Riley, there's more information comes out, the news changes, there's online reactions. It's something more there. That substance kind of just went away.
Yeah.
You know,
and playing with, is the evil real or not?
Yeah.
For a little bit longer than 15 minutes would have been, yeah, I guess preferable.
Yeah.
But there's also way too many eye roll moments of like not Riley, but Mia picking up the knife in the spooky old lady's house, and that just going nowhere. Like,
you're right. Yeah. Then what
complete,
happened with
not
that?
even use. Like, she picks up the knife. And, ooh, okay. Mia's smart. Mia knows something's wrong. She picks up the knife, and then she finds Riley, and then just leaves the knife on the ground. And
did the demon lady
leaves
use
it.
that to cut herself, or was that not the knife?
No.
It wasn't even that.
Wasn't even that.
Okay.
So it was just again, it's one of those plot characters like, hey, look, Mia's not completely dumb. She's smart enough to get a weapon, but also
she's dumb enough to do all that.
Dumb enough to leave the like. You might as well just not even include that in the first place. Just don't have a knife there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but it feels cheating.
Yeah.
It feels like cheating to add her picking up the knife and then just go nowhere. It could have even just been a simple thing of her like stabbing the possessed woman and then it just being nothing, and powers through it, and so like the knife was pointless all along because it's demons, not people. Anything to justify why pick it up in the first place.
Yeah.
But there was the flashlight turning off at the last second, her not bringing any type of weapon, all these little kind of eye roll cliches.
Yes. I think the one Chekhov's gun that went through the movie with the window cracking.
Yes.
We get the window cracks at the beginning. Every time there's the demons outside, ooh, the window's cracking. And we know Mia even saw this. And that comes full circle in the end when Riley gets tossed out the window. That's how the demon is, quote unquote, let in. Of the window shatters, demon is now there. Ah, it finally happened. The window is broken. The demon can now possess Mia because that's what the demon was trying to get to the whole time. Got it. Makes sense. So as much as, again, a lot of complaints there, but there's a really good movie in here. I really believe that there is, in between the end and that first setup, I think there's a good movie.
It's just,
I don't mean that to sound, again, I don't mean that to sound mean or condescending to the movie. This had me excited for a part of it, of like, oh, what's being pulled off here?
Yeah. It had more of an interesting premise that became more standard.
Yes.
That's ultimately where it is.
Definitely right. Yep. And any other praise you have, like anything good that you liked in the plot? Because we did focus on more negatives.
The more positive is the first fourth of the movie.
Mhm.
Really, of the more mockumentary mystery aspect of it was a lot better. I really liked that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was well shot. Great mystery. Didn't know what was going on. Loved it.
Yeah, especially when we got to see when Mia was watching the footage, she got it, and we were seeing what happened to all of them.
Yeah.
That was tense.
That was real spooky.
That was real spooky and tense. That
Yeah.
was awesome stuff. Of like, again, it was that mystery of what actually happened. The hook was still there.
Yeah.
It really did go away when that hook was just gone.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the switch up. Because when we were trying to find out, oh my goodness, what those three actually died, or when we find out those three died and Riley was taken. Yes, and then obviously the answer to that being Riley was being abused, which obviously awful stuff. Also, what ended up happening? So Riley's arc and what happened to her, she gets taken, abused, and then we see her in that jail, in that prison that Mia frees her from, brings her back home, and Riley gets pushed out the window and dies. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
gets
Well,
eaten
Riley
alive.
tries to kill her
baby,
her
yeah.
baby, because she knows it's the son of Satan.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
and then gets pushed out the window by
Mhm.
accident. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much of a character arc necessarily for Riley, other than kind of a setup for Mia,
Yeah.
really.
It's Mia's story.
Yeah.
I got nothing else for plot. That's all I
yeah,
got.
I'm gonna lower it just on our conversation. I'm just not as intrigued with it, so a 2.75.
Okay, very fair. I'm gonna change mine at the end after the whole discussion's over, but I'm leaning a little low too. But what did you think of the filmmaking?
I gave this the highest score of a 3.75.
Nice.
I think the filmmaking on this is really good. The shot composition, the music, all the sound, like everything that, as far as directing goes, good. I liked it. Got some good spooks in there.
I give it a 3.5. This was my highest. Good. This was the most impressive part.
Yeah. No, especially that first 15-minute segment of the mockumentary type deal, all the way even through the ending. I really liked how this movie looked.
Yep.
Looked and sounded. So, yeah, tons of positives. What were some of the highlighted scenes for you that really stood out to you?
Without repeating scenes that I liked, I think. Okay, I said this at the beginning. I just said I don't want to repeat, but that switch up in the credits from the intense music blaring in, house changing from night to day, the build effectively got me not just emotionally hooked in, but I liked the music being used and the setup to the film. That was great. But I think the best stuff, two things. The best stuff with the found footage and all of that was getting that very
the found
shaky
footage was really well shot.
It was, yeah. It was shaky. It felt real. It felt,
especially the newer stuff. You know, the stuff that was found in the killer's hand, and we finally found that. That was really good.
Yes,
I think that found footage where we find out that the whole crew gets killed in the cabin, really well shot.
Yes, something that was pointed out to me. Someone else said this. This is not me. Sorry, I can't credit who. I don't know if it has to do with filmmaking. Sorry to go negative again. But after the guy shoots himself and then falls down and Mia's horrified, and the next shot is the police there with Mia with blood on her.
Oh,
typically,
I mentioned that to you.
Oh, that was you?
That was me.
Oh, yeah. You did?
I told you, like, she still didn't wipe off the blood.
Yeah, still wipe off the blood, yeah.
Okay. It's okay. One thing of she's sitting out there with the police with the blood still on her face. Part of me is going like, I would think the cops that come around there would just take a nice little cloth and go, there, honey. We're gonna get that off.
That would be so condescending.
But I mean, like, you don't just like leave it on their face. Just get a washcloth,
right?
And then the cops go. It's now night. It's been hours, and she's sitting with her husband in the living room, and she's still got the blood on her face. What are you doing? And then it goes even later if she's sitting there watching the footage, like clearly ready for bed. Yes, the blood on her face still. Like, Jesus, go to the bathroom. Like, I know you're traumatized.
That's got to be on the makeup team there. That's a little bit on the filmmaking. However,
maybe, but like, I know you're traumatized, lady, but go to a bathroom. Like, you can.
My God,
You can just leave the blood on your face all day.
it's got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, good catch.
That was
good catch.
It was weird.
Things I liked though.
Yeah.
the all the spooky stuff. So for example, in the prison, in the dungeon, the jail. Sorry, in the jail, the lighting and the mist effect. Apparently, I heard this from some Stuckman interview, but they had to get a mist machine for the whole entire building, and it was a massive setup to get this pulled off so that they could get the correct fog and lighting correct for those scenes when she was looking off into this jail cell where the guy, again, spooky scenes where the guy's just standing there the whole time looking out the window. We didn't mention that very much, but the jailbreak that happened.
Yeah, which was, I had a plot question on that one.
Yeah, what's your question?
The prison guard, or the prison, not guard, but the controller of the prison was going like, yeah, no, there's this one guy, he was the curse of the prison, he's terrible. And it's like, oh, well, what'd he do? He's like, he was just real quiet. There was this big riot. Everyone's fighting. It was a bloodbath. And he just sat in his cell. And he stood in his cell the entire time, just looking menacingly at everyone.
But it was menacingly.
All right, but how do you, like, why were you so hyper-focused on that? Why? Like, you have a riot going on. Death and galore. And it's like the one guy who's like seeing all the death and carnage going on outside and decides, nah, I'm going to stay in my cell.
Like a good boy.
Like a good boy. Really? That's the thing that's most horrifying. Okay. I don't know. I had questions at that. That was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's set up to be super spooky, but at the end, when you ask yourself, like, logically, why would the prison guy?
I guess the rationale is you see when Mia goes in there and you see the footprints. Apparently he stood there a lot. Not just during the riot scene, but he was there night and day, just standing there. So every time maybe a prisoner would walk by, the guy's just there. Going, yeah. What a freak. What a loony. I guess that's the explanation. Yeah, it stands out, But I like your explanation. It's way funnier. So that's great. But it's hard to say in the scenes of just which scene was exactly well shot. It was well directed. It looked good. Mm-hmm. It was spooky. It did the horror part right. This would be a much worse movie if not for being competently shot and filmed and directed well.
Yeah.
I think that does make up for it. Otherwise, just being a letdown in the screenwriting.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Chris Stuckman also wrote, or at least co-wrote this as well. Correct?
Oh, he wrote this, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the screenwriter. I don't know if it could have been co with others, but he was definitely writer.
Which definitely makes me interested of like, maybe that aspect of it is, it'll take some time for him to get better at it. But I think give Chris Stuckman someone else's script, gonna make a really great movie to me. Mm-hmm. That's at least my thought of it. So
yeah.
As far as director goes, fantastic job.
How do you think the dialogue and acting was out of 5 stars?
Dialogue and acting.
Changing it?
Probably do. I initially have here at a 3.25, but as we've talked about it with specifically the dialogue, I don't know if there's much to go by. I think I want to give this a 2.75.
Okay, fair.
If it was just dialogue, it would be lower. Mm-hmm. If it was just acting, it would be higher.
Gotcha. Do you think we should split them? That's too much.
No.
We have to have 6 categories.
We have enough categories. Everything can be broken down into 6 categories. Everything in this world.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. So,
yes.
if we can't do it properly, it's our problem, not
Yes.
the system's problem. The system is perfect.
We just must comply
Yeah.
with the almighty six, the almighty hexagon. Yes, hexagon. So I gave it a 3 neutral.
Okay.
I could be convinced. I think the performances were good performances.
Good
Me
performances
and
all
Riley
around.
acted very well. I do agree though. The dialogue was more so you're especially I'm thinking about the scenes between the husband and Mia.
To me, it was the scene between Mia and the prison director.
Yeah, to stand out.
I like the guy. I'm trying to remember his name, right? But the thing I remember him most from is Community.
Yeah.
And I like him in that. I like him in other stuff that he comes through, but it did not come across like I think
Yeah,
there's
you're right.
probably the worst performance in the movie. Did not come across as convincing
No.
as a prison director and felt really hammy and over the top. Just him pouring alcohol into his coffee. He's like, everything changed when that guy came into the prison.
You're right.
No,
Yeah.
not the same. And he's making it sound like, oh, he just really made it worse. I'm like, it's a prison, man. It's like, oh yeah, he just ruined the mood. It's prison.
I
Wait.
was having my chai latte, and let me tell you, it
Like
was.
we had just such a happy-go-lucky, wonderful attitude. Like it's prison. Like, what do you expect? Whatever.
Fair point. Yeah.
Other than that role and performance, I think most of them acted a lot better than the dialogue really gave them.
And it's on the directing of Stuckman's part. It's a lot to get your actors to do that in the right scene. I don't know how many takes it took. If I'm being hypercritical, there was Mia's actress. There was that one scene where she was screaming, and it was more so just like the bloody scream rather than it being more of a. Not that there's a more believable scream, but I just remember some of it could have been overacted a little bit too. So I'm with you. It wasn't all the most glamorous, but like Riley, I think was the standout. For Riley acted very well.
Sure.
Mia did act well. Sorry, I don't know the real actresses' names, but yes. But I might go. I'll go 2.75 too. I'll go below average for that.
Yeah, it's more of a thing. I'm also not. I don't want to be too harsh on the dialogue because overall it wasn't very cringy dialogue.
No.
It was fairly normal, believable dialogue. It's just a handful of things that kind of rolled my eyes. Like the prison director was the most standout for me.
Yeah.
And then additionally the scenes between Mia and her husband.
Yep.
That dialogue felt stilted.
Yep.
Other than that, felt fairly normal.
Again, just leaning into the full, you know what to expect here, okay? The full criticism part, the husband and wife, why I keep bringing that up, is I could almost hear the end action as I saw them stare at each other for like a timed 1, 2, 3, walk over, hug, 1, 2, cutscene. I could, for some reason, I could almost feel the direction as I was watching them do that, as if they were answering to a cue.
Yeah.
It's very hard to explain. Other than just when watching it, it did come across my head of going, okay, cue, go, hug, cue. I can't explain it better than that. Of some scenes did seem that way.
I get your point.
Yeah. Overall, okay. Movie, any other thoughts? Any changes to your ratings at all? I'm going to look at mine and see if there's any changes.
Well, I mainly changed characters and plot.
You went down a bit.
Characters went down a bit. Same thing with plot, which means overall I am going to lower it to a 2.75.
Below average film. From a 3, so it went from above to below average.
Yeah.
So for me, I just lowered dialogue a little bit. Based on how I've talked about it, do you think 2.5 is accurate for me, or am I very disappointed, or am I just disappointed? What do you think?
I think you're just disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't think you're very. To me, the biggest change for me is the characters. When we're talking about it, that was the biggest. The characters mainly, but also the plot, pretty disappointing. So
yeah,
it's that kind of stuff that lowered it to overall slightly disappointing.
Yeah, if I'm just talking emotionally in the filmmaking, I'm like,
yeah, below average.
Yeah.
So
very fair, very fair. Okay, that's been another Two to Reel review. Let us know what you thought of the movie down below. Shelby Oaks,
what'd you think of it?
what'd you think?
All right, We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye bye.